You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dialed In Show. This is episode 31, or I don't know if y'all need to see it this way. I don't know which way it is. But episode 31 of season 2. How you doing today, Steven?
I'm good, dealing with some Wi-Fi issues, but other than that, rocking and rolling. It's Tuesday. I'm kind of drinking out of a fire hydrant here in Texas. We just got a lot of news, and Bears. It's a news term, Micah. You were kind of like,
yeah, I was confused. I'm like, well, and my mind
imagine the pressure of a fire hose.
Right. But and my mind went to, because it's raining a lot here, so rain is just on my mind. So I'm thinking, like, oh, well, maybe it's raining.
It rained, yeah. I mean, some people lost power Monday, but I didn't. Yeah, no, it's just busy time. Busy time here in Texas. We'll talk about it a little later in the show. But I'm doing good. You doing okay?
Yeah, I can't complain. It's, just same old. Just, making it from one day to the next. But that's really, we are okay.
You had to tell that to yourself.
Yeah. Really, we are okay.
Said, really, we okay. Like, you ain't got to convince me.
I'm trying to convince myself. Like, you are okay.
You said, really okay. No.
Like your therapist tell yourself, I am okay. Look in the mirror. I am okay.
Man, so we know, there's different generations of kids and whatnot. And I guess my question I'm posing this morning is, are we being too critical of these young kids and how they're being brought up? Because, I mean, it's not your generation really, but my generation and older that are raising these kids. So someone posted an interesting post on social media. It said, I remember when we were kids, getting McDonald's was like hitting the lottery. And then the kids now want sushi, crab legs, and steak regular on a Tuesday. Like, okay, is it the kids are being more pampered, or are the kids more cultured? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, is someone at fault?
I think every generation has it easier than the previous. I think every generation is able to indulge in things that the previous one did not. And so I think there's people who, our grandparents look at us crazy. Our parents look at their grandchildren crazy. And so it happens every generation. But I do think that these kids now are sushi. I didn't first, when that looked like he might have been 5 years old or something like that. I don't know.
And he know what he's doing too.
I don't even know if I knew what some sushi was. Like, no. I don't. Static about McDonald's had that box, the kids meal box, and they used to have toys in them. I don't know if they still do or not.
They do.
So, but yeah, sushi, all kind of stuff. Hibachi and shrimp and all kind of stuff that they want. Man,
we ain't know nothing about that. When did you learn about?
Well, now growing up, I love crab. See, now what was a true luxury? A true luxury. This was only on your birthday or graduating from elementary school. I loved Red Lobster.
Now, you like crab legs growing
up. But I'm saying I used to go to Red Lobster. But all this other stuff. And then here's the other thing. This ain't exactly what this was asking, but I think part of it still is talking about whose fault is it. Kids now, and I'm even talking about really the group that I'm talking about right now is those who are probably from like 16 to 23, 24.
Okay.
They are dumb.
Oh. What?
They are dumb.
Okay, in what way?
They have no common sense. They don't. They just, I don't know. It's like all of them. They live in La La Land.
Do you think? And this sounds like an excuse, the
COVID.
pandemic, do you think that messed them up in
I think it
their
did make some of them stupid.
cognitive or learning skills?
I think it did make some of them stupid. I think so because it's
You
just
said you think it made some of them stupid?
yeah, or think stupidly, make
As
stupid
far as
decisions.
common sense is what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't know. And maybe again, it happens to every generation. How you hear your parents or even your older cousins or siblings say, "I've lived through this, so I'm trying to tell you how it's gonna go." I remember
Mhm,
you saying stuff like that to me when I was younger. So it happens, I guess, with everybody. But it's just like,
mhm,
and Granny used to tell our cousins. She said, "Y'all are." Well, maybe I shouldn't say that on here, but
mhm,
she said,
mhm,
"Y'all not thinking." Granddaddy used to say, use your head for more than a hat.
mhm,
But it's just like, what are you, I don't know. They didn't learn critical thinking.
mm. But
That's
is that okay? So is that an excuse blaming the pandemic? What the pandemic got to do with critical thinking?
well, I think there's a chunk, and I don't know the exact years, but now first of all, let's have a real conversation because of what we're about to get to in a little later about how Texas is just backwards. But let's have a real conversation. In a lot of these southern states, there are so many, unfortunately, students that are graduating from high school that
Mhm.
don't really know how to read. That
Yeah.
that don't. So I'm going somewhere with this. You already got a lot of students who aren't where they should be.
Mhm.
Then you took them, and I'm not saying that they should not have been taken out of schools, but then you take them out of school. There's a class. I don't know if it was the class of 2020 or 2021. They ain't do nothing. They senior year, they did not learn nothing. They junior year, they ain't learn nothing.
Mhm.
So the ones who already had struggles, then on top of that, the last 2 years of high school, they ain't do anything.
Mhm.
They out here lost.
You trying to choose your words?
I am. 'Cause, like it's showing now because when you talk to them, anybody, y'all go talk to a 21 or 22-year-old, and you'd be like, and they think that, and this is the perfect thing. They think life is like just I want sushi today,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not like that.
But see, and so that goes back to the question, and yeah, the analogy was a kid, but it goes
Mhm.
back to the question: is that a learned behavior? I mean, like a taught behavior, or is it just that you know what I'm saying? Like, how did they get to that point of, oh, I just want this, and ain't doing anything to get that?
Yeah, and
Some of them.
yes, some, not all of them are stupid, but a lot of them, I would
You
argue,
keep
say at
using
least
stupid.
I would
Jeez.
I would argue half of them
Wow.
in this season of their life. Hopefully, they grow out of it. But listen, a lot of us, I can speak for us.
Hmm.
Now, we grew up in a house where with dad, where and you may say me more than you or whatever, but where we were very spoiled. We got for the most part whatever we wanted, but we also
Yeah.
didn't ask for a lot. Like
Yeah.
the whole
Yes.
shoe thing
We
that
were
started after
spoiled,
daddy
but
died.
we were spoiled, but we also wasn't just getting everything because we
Right,
weren't
right.
asking for everything.
No, like somebody asked me the other day about the shoes and all the shoes we have. And I said,
Yeah. We ain't
we
own a
didn't
pair of
grow up.
Jordans until after our dad died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even with all the spoiling, daddy made sure that we understood you had to have a work ethic, that
Hmm.
you've got to get your head out your tail. He said, get your head out your ass, get your head out your butt. You've got to go and work for what you have. There's sacrifices that have to be made. So I think
Hmm.
the mistake that's been made with a lot of young adults right now is their parents wanted them to have more than what they had,
Hmm.
and they gave it to them without making sure they understood you've got to work for this.
That's
This
that's
isn't.
that's said well. Good job, Micah. That
Yeah,
was
so
that was.
I think that's the issue is when you pair I've been spoiled without proper work ethic, paired with my last 2 years of high school. I didn't even go to school. We weren't half doing homework and stuff. It's just like life was just made too easy for a lot of them.
Okay.
And now they out here thinking everything is free.
I thought this was interesting, talking and going from young to now older. Did you ever think about, like, at what age does our organs start actually aging? So USA Today posted a story on Monday. It was a study that happened, and it said by looking at tissue taken from organs throughout the body, including the heart, liver, pancreas, spleen, lungs, researchers determined that aging starts to accelerate from 45 years old to 55 years old. Now, there are a few organs that start aging at 30 years old and 35 years old, but nothing really until like 30 years old really doesn't start. Did that shock you that, like, I mean, we have the same organs our entire lives, and it doesn't start, quote, like, deteriorating or aging until about 40 or 45.
Yeah, it shocked me, but I mean, I guess when you really think about it, the issue is we don't take care of our bodies. Is I think the issue, but it shows that our bodies were designed to get us through half of our life at least, without starting to have issues. But then when you also think about it, around those ages, people start to see changes. People. I saw a video the other day. It was a guy, and he was talking about dating, and he said, I think he was like 30. How old are you? He's like 35 or something like that.
Oh,
And
you talking about? I saw a video. You talking about asking different questions?
yeah, and he was like, "But what's your cholesterol and your blood pressure, and have your taste buds changed? Tell me about the stuff you could eat 10 years ago that you can't eat now because your stomach, you're gonna be on the toilet." So it's interesting how at certain ages, everybody kind of start changing. Have you noticed? Because you on the other side of
what you trying to say? You trying to say I'm old?
what I'm saying is you on the other side of 30.
Oof.
So
Yeah, wake up, body parts hurt. You like, when did I work that out? Like, what are you talking about? Dog.
are there any foods that you can't eat now that you used to be able to eat?
I can eat everything. It's just like, and a lot of Black people are. I think people in general, like, I'm semi like lactose. I'm pretty certain.
But you've always said that.
Yeah. So I mean, now instead of just like enduring what comes after, I like take a lactate pill. So it's like I'm taking pills now that I didn't used to take. But yeah, on the other side of 35, man, it's like I said, I sat down at my desk yesterday real slow. I was like,
well, listen, this is an exclusive here on the Dialed In podcast, Into My Mind. And really I'm fine. I don't care about it because I'm gonna die whenever I'm gonna die. And I used to want to live to be 100. I don't want to live to be that old anymore. I was telling an old lady this other day.
I was telling an old lady this.
And then especially if I
so you don't want to live to 100 anymore.
No. I barely want to live to be 80.
My goodness.
No.
I think let's set the record straight. Me and Micah are kind of morbid. Like, we joke about death. I don't know if that's a way of coping or what. But like, death is not like so taboo to at least me and Micah. I think a good age to die is like 85.
If I'm in my right mind and I can take care of myself, yes. The moment I need assistance, God, I can go. I can go.
Assistance in what way? You may need assistance walking. That's different. That's different than assistance using the bathroom.
Especially that one. If I can't wipe my tail, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. But even the walking thing, because to me, if I don't have a quality of life, what am I living for? I ain't got to see I want to see my grandchildren, but once they get to be great grandchildren, I ain't got to see them. It's okay.
Well, you asked your great grandmother.
Yeah, you're not tired of waking up?
How old was she when you asked her that?
I think I started asking her that. She was over 100, but I asked her till she died.
He said, "You ain't tired of waking up. You just wake up and then what? Like, what do you do?"
Yeah. But here's where I was going with all of this. We're talking about aging.
Mhm.
Now my knee has kind of hurt ever since I had the car accident, so I'm not counting my knee. But looking at stuff like this a little bit terrifies me because it's like,
Mhm.
and then just looking at our family history, because at this point, like I said, this is an
Mhm.
exclusive, and y'all, I'm really, it's not a secret, but I'm telling too much information, but it's not a secret. Unfortunately, we've got a pattern on our father's side. Is in pray, you know what? We are declaring in the name of Jesus that Stephen and I break this cycle.
I don't know what the hell he's about to say.
No, no, I don't know about beyond our great grandfather. I don't know
Mhm.
about before him, but
Mhm.
from him down, um,
Oh, he's my cancer.
he was murdered by white people. That's why some in our family don't like white people like that. But that he was murdered by white
Why
people.
do you have to say it like that?
Well, because it's the
Jesus
truth.
Christ.
Um,
You just said he was murdered by white people. Oh my God.
he was. I'm trying to make a point here.
You talking about great grandfather?
Our grandfather's grandfather, yes, our father's grandfather. He was. Let's just tell a quick
Our
story.
great grandfather.
Yes, he had a physical impairment visually.
Mhm.
He was walking home or either walking to the doctor some kind of way. These white boys picked him up, drowned him. All right.
Mhm.
He died prematurely due to society. Okay.
Okay,
If that's a better way to say
but
it.
that don't count. So what you're about to say?
Our grandfather died at 69 of cancer.
Yes,
Our
he worked
father.
in steel mill. I'm saying
Okay, so
that was an
society killed him
no.
too.
I'm saying that was an occupational hazard.
Okay, so society killed him too. Our
No.
father died at 59. Hell,
Oh,
society killed him too.
what do you mean?
Well, I'm not going to explain how I feel society killed him. I'm not.
What?
I'm still employed by the place. So,
I am lost. I am lost.
so listen.
Okay,
So,
you're saying our grandfather and our father died from cancer. Is that what you're saying?
or did not. Neither of them lived past 70. Right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
here's like I said, I'm trying to go somewhere.
Okay.
The age number keeps lowering. This is a
Oh,
bad
that's what you're
trajectory.
nervous about. That's what you know. So I'm 49. Huh?
Right. So it's like, wait a minute.
Oh
I
my God.
remember, and this was before Dad even had cancer. Me and him
Mhm.
used to joke, and I used to always tell him, all you gotta do is make it past 69. All you gotta do is make it past 69. Not knowing he
Mm.
wasn't even gonna make it past 59. So I said,
Yeah.
oh shucks, this is headed in the wrong direction. Right. And it wasn't even like he died at 65. It's a whole 10 years younger. So
I
here's
get
my
what you're saying.
thing.
Oh,
Here's my thing.
so that's in the
So
back of your head.
when we talk about aging, and I think about that video of the guy saying you reach certain age, you can't eat what you used to be able to eat. And
Mhm.
so that means your organs are aging.
Yeah.
I'm 27 and I'm starting not to be able to eat stuff I used to be able to eat. Terrifying the hell out of me. Like, wait a minute. When I had LASIK surgery on my
Yeah.
eye, he told me your eyes will be good until you are 40,
And they ain't.
and they not. And I just had to go get more glasses. So I'm sitting at home the other day, and I'm like, and I probably shouldn't even say this out loud. Don't speak things because words have power. But I'm like, I'm gonna die at 49. I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good.
Oh my God.
So you know what?
Wow. That conversation went way
So you know
That is
what?
not good.
In November, I am going on a trip. Next year, I'm going on 2 trips. I'm about to live my life because I don't know.
You're gonna die at 49.
Yeah, I don't
Jesus
know when
Christ.
this thing is going to end. So I'm
Well,
about
no
to
one
have
knows
fun.
when it's gonna end. What do you mean?
I'm looking at this doggone pattern. And
And see, now you can put the pattern in my head because I ain't think nothing about that.
well,
So granddad died at 69, dad died at 59. Oof.
and I don't know how old our great grandfather was. The only person who I know might know. I don't
Okay,
fool
but
her.
then look on the flip side. Your granddad is what, 82?
You talking about on mom's side?
Yeah.
Yeah, his mother lived to be 105. All
Yeah.
his siblings are still alive.
So it could swing.
Or it could not, but okay.
Next subject. All right. We started talking about why I'm so busy in Texas. This is going to be part history lesson and part commentary. So if y'all have been under a rock and don't know what's been going on in Texas this week, typically most legislatures, well, not most, all, typically legislatures redraw the congressional district maps after the census. So the last one that was done was 2021. There is nothing against the law that prevents lawmakers from doing it in between a census. It is just uncommon. President Trump is nervous about the midterms. They have a razor thin lead in the House. So President Trump and his team are like, let's have some Republican states redraw their maps so that we can get more seats. Said all that to say, there's a map in Texas that likely could gain 5 Republican seats in Congress. So Democrats, they're in the minority. They only have one option that they can do to stall this, not block this, stall this. You may have seen that Democrats from Texas are in Chicago and New York and other places. It's called a quorum break. Even though Democrats are in the minority, the House has to have a certain amount of people on the floor to do any business. It's about 65. I'm going to get the number wrong. It's 60 something Democrats in the House. 57 of them left. And so Monday, the House did not have a quorum. The thing is, they can't just be away from their homes and lives and families for
Forever.
months. So eventually, when they come back, this map is likely going to pass. Your thoughts on the latest drama that's been happening in Texas?
I'm gonna come back to how I feel about the whole redistricting thing.
Mm-hmm.
But first, as I said last week, and I think the week before, I think the other times I was talking about Republicans, but this time I'm talking about Democrats. I don't agree with them doing this quorum break, and here's my reason. I think there are certain fighting tools that we should not use because when it flips, the other side can do it too. So it's like the way you fight is through your vote. Vote no. And right now you're in the minority, so you're just gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
So it's don't fight by, oh, we just not gonna show up to work. So 15 years from now,
they see it as they are standing up for their people who voted for them.
I just think certain things you shouldn't. Just like I think this redistricting thing shouldn't be done because Gavin Newsom, he's saying, "All right, bet California, right, we gonna do it." So
if you look at politics, California, like 89% of the district seats are already Democrat. It's only like 8 Republican seats out of like more than 40 Democrat seats. And so it's kind of the flip of Texas. I mean, Texas Republicans hold 25 of 38 congressional seats in Texas. And so, yeah, I mean, okay, but then that starts the conversation of, okay, then what can Democrats do? They're in the minority. So, okay, you vote no, you lose, then what? Like, you still lost.
You win some, you lose some.
Well, in Texas, they lose a lot.
Well, okay, go. And now I'm gonna sound like some of the Republicans.
A Democrat has not won a statewide elected race in Texas since the governor that was the governor before George W. Bush became governor. So since the late 90s, a Democrat has not won a statewide race in Texas.
This is my thing. I'm gonna make one statement that's gonna be controversial, and I'm gonna sound like a Republican. All right, go move to Chicago then. Go move to New York then. Here's what I'm saying. Lobby for what you desire. Figure out a way to win elections. The issue, this is what people gotta understand. And this is what people don't like to realize. Similar to Georgia, Atlanta, or similar to Dallas or Houston or whatever. These are just big cities that got black people or big cities that have Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the state.
Correct.
The state of Georgia is overwhelmingly Republican.
Yeah, but if you look at this has been the argument though. If you look at the voting age people who are eligible to vote, then if everyone showed up, Georgia and Texas may not be a red state, and I think that's the argument. It's kind of like Democrats are saying, "Oh, this is silencing people." Well, part of it, and like you said, show up to vote. Okay, those people aren't coming to vote, and so the people who are coming to vote, the state is red.
Yeah. So my thing is just, I don't think the way to fight it is some of the things that are being done on either side. I don't think that's the way to fight it. I think you fight it at the ballot box. You got to get more people out to vote. And some of that still would not work because some of these Democrats are not in these rural areas. So those seats are going to always be won by those Republicans. So certain states are going to stay the way they are for a very long time because that's just the way that it is.
But see, unlike Texas, Georgia is a state that could actually be blue if people showed up.
Yeah,
like
we got two Democrat senators.
Yeah, let's see how long that lasts. But okay, but so the politics of Georgia are totally different than the politics of Texas. And I got I don't want to call it an argument, but an argument with someone about that because they were like, "Well, how did Georgia do in Texas?" Texas has a totally different political dynamic. One, white people are the minority in Texas. Like it's just a fact. And Hispanic voters, just like black voters, while black voters tend to overwhelmingly vote Democrat, there are some shifts happening, but in the Hispanic community, there are larger shifts happening where all Hispanic people are not voting Democrat. More Hispanic people are voting Republican, regardless of what you think, why they are. They are.
Darnest thing in the world.
And so the demographics, and not saying Georgia doesn't have Hispanic people, but the demographics are way different. So the voting trends are going to be way different. So like comparing Georgia to Texas is apples and oranges in my opinion.
Yeah. I just, all of this is just crazy. And then y'all, what's that man name? What's y'all governor name? Abbott.
Governor Abbott.
I thought of every nickname that I should not have said in my head. It was taking me forever to get
please
to
don't
Abbott.
say it on this show. Thank you. I'm trying to stay employed.
I was trying to think of Abbott. And he getting on Fox News just telling untruths.
What's untrue?
He, first of all, from what you reported, I watched the video.
Oh, thanks for watching.
No legislation has been put forth about the flooding.
As of yesterday's story, it's interesting. In politics, it's so funny. So, as of yesterday, pre 6 p.m., like he was saying, oh, there's flood victims that don't have relief and all this stuff. No bills have been filed. Now that Democrats are gone, there have been multiple bills filed since yesterday. And so, like, it's politics. But yeah, it's like you can't say, like, there's been more hearings in the Texas legislature during the special session for redistricting than any other bill, period. There's been some hearings on the Senate side about THC, a bill that the governor vetoed, but there have been no hearings about anything else of substance. And so to make it sound like, oh, Democrats are leaving and now we can't do anything. Y'all weren't doing anything. No, the Senate, in their defense, the Senate was doing some other stuff. The House has not done anything. The House has had one flooding hearing in Kerrville with the Senate and a bunch of redistricting hearings. So
he was on Fox News saying y'all not getting aid because of the Democrats, and it's like you just lying to these people. Like I just don't like that. Be honest with me. And the most of them lie on both sides.
I was say politicians on both sides lie.
Yeah,
often. Or they don't see it as lying; they just see it as telling it in a different way. I don't know. Bending the truth.
How long has he been the governor?
for a while. He's
Y'all
about
don't
to
have
run.
term limits?
No, he's about to run for his third term
Oh.
because he just
Even
won. Yeah, I think he's about to run for his third term.
let me stir up a little mess too for those of our viewers and listeners from Alabama, Birmingham.
Okay.
As much as I love Mayor Randall Woodfin, who's a young mayor in Birmingham,
Mhm.
I don't like when people lie to me. He was big on when he was first running 8 years ago,
Mhm.
on that mayors shouldn't be mayors for more than 2 terms. He was big on that. That was a
But
big
a lot of
thing.
people run on that, and then they get in office, and they're like, "Ooh, I like this power."
Right now, he's running for a third term,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not
Yeah.
saying that he shouldn't be, but I'm saying you said you weren't going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like that. That just I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like that. These
I
politicians,
mean,
man.
like politics, and that's why a lot of people don't like politics. But it's like everything in your life, politics is involved. Sports, anything, politics is involved. And so you can say, "I don't like politics. I stay out of it," and you're gonna stay off the table, and you're gonna be on the menu, not at the table. So
Speaking of sports, the Republicans tried it with a black guy and it didn't work. And so
ooh.
they said, well, let's try it with a white man.
Well, and this man, dad, is the legendary coach at the University of Georgia, Vince Dooley, who won Georgia's first national title with Herschel Walker. Derek Dooley, former Tennessee head coach. See, he should just lose votes because he coached at Tennessee. I'm joking. Announced that he is running for Senate to try to challenge John Ossoff. But the difference here is there are some other Republicans who have already announced, and the governor of Georgia is endorsing Dooley.
Yeah, yeah. I saw some stuff saying that this might spark some feuds again between Kemp and Donald Trump.
Did
Because
Donald Trump already endorse someone?
I don't think so, but I think his name Mike Johnson or something. I think
Yeah.
one of the other two people that are running, I think Trump is cool with them. So I think it could potentially split hairs if it would become an issue if Trump doesn't endorse Dooley. That would become an issue.
Yeah.
Because you got the governor of the state saying vote for this person, and then the president saying vote for this person. Because I know in my soul, if Kemp had run, he would have beat Ossoff.
Oh yeah.
He would have beat Ossoff. But I can't think of Brian Kemp's wife name. I think it started with an M. She said, "I'm tired of this." She told him he
She
could
said,
not
"You're
run.
a popular governor. Just be done with it."
Yeah, she wasn't about it. She said, because I'm telling you right now, you go be senator. I ain't getting no NAM plane going to DC. She said, I'm not. No, I'm not doing it. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, though, and this again shows you how some of these politicians are full of it. At the same time, though, if you are a public servant, you have to make sacrifices. And I'm not necessarily trying to say, I'm not trying to push the Republican agenda, but I think if you care about all of what you say you care about, and I'm talking about Brian Kemp, and you care about the well-being of the state and all this kind of stuff, forget y'all don't want to. If you know you the one that could beat him, you need to run. Like, I think we pick and choose when we put state before party or before our feelings and stuff. No, we do what we want to do at the end of the day, and I don't like a lot of these people. It's just I think Brian. Again, I'm not saying that I want him to be senator, but he should have run.
You're saying he's better than some alternatives, is what you're saying, in some ways.
And
Right.
I think it would be entertaining to see Brian Kemp in the Senate. He's you know who he reminds me of? George Bush. That kind of, you ever seen them talk?
A different age, George Bush. Yeah.
Either way they talk, you're like, how did they get elected to anything?
Because they're man of the people.
The whole kind of like
not all shucks, but kind of yeah.
Like the jock in high school kind of like,
Yeah.
it's,
That's relatable.
yeah,
It's relatable.
but
All right.
it's this next few years of politics is going to be interesting because even the Georgia race for governor is getting it's going to be interesting.
Man, MTG's not running though.
She need to go to. Ooh, Lord forgive me. I was like, she need to move to Ukraine. That's what I was about to say. But
Goodbye. That's our show. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you same time, same place next week.
bye, y'all.